So the first anniversary for Wuthering Waves has been announced, and there's definitely been some mixed opinions on the patch and just the anniversary as a whole. For those who may not know and somehow are finding this out through my video, Wuthering Waves recently announced the content of its next patch as well as the details surrounding the first anniversary. The anniversary initially announced that we'd be receiving 37 pulls, but as of recently, Kuro announced that we'd get an extra 30 pulls, 10 of the premium pulls, 10 of the weapon pulls, and 10 standard pulls. I think that there's a lot that could be impact on the entirety of this anniversary, as well as give us some insight on the future of Wuthering Waves. But first, I'd just like to share my thoughts on the anniversary rewards and why I think they're not as bad as people are making them out to be. First, I'd like to say I thought the initial rewards were pretty lackluster, but with the extra 30 pulls, I think there is something to be looking forward to. It would have been cool to have more pulls, obviously, especially for the anniversary banners, but this anniversary doesn't nearly compare to prior Hoyo anniversaries that we might be used to. I think that if these pulls were in a Hoyo game, people would be mostly happy with it, and I think that's true even with the initial 37 pulls. So I'm personally fine with having 57 pulls for the anniversary. I am extremely casual, so maybe I'm completely out of touch, and just in case someone takes this as me defending a company that doesn't know me, look at my sub count. No, that's not true, not even a little. It's not that deep, I just like saying what I like to say. With that out of the way, I want to talk about the anniversary banners and why they're not as bad as people may think they are. So I've been playing Wuthering Waves since day one as a free-to-play player, and I have gotten most of the characters, as well as some of their weapons, so for me I don't think it's a big deal for all the units to get a rerun at once, in 2 phases. I think these banners were more intended for people who skipped a character to be able to go back if they really wanted to get them, and not so much like needing to get these strong characters because they're all kind of on the same level of power. There isn't like an obsolete unit and there isn't like an Acheron of the game or anything like that. I have no problem with breaking free to play to get a character that I want. It just hasn't happened because the game state has been so well that I didn't feel the need to spend. Obviously my account's not gonna look like yours, but I don't think this is as bad as people are making it out to be. I don't like the 50-50. Especially in PGR where they don't have a 50-50. However, I just think it's not as bad as people think. If you played for a year, you probably have most of the characters, if not all of them. And this is also true to me. I've spent $0 so far and I have almost everybody. I really don't think there's a unit that I'm missing, or really that I have, that's insanely strong and beyond the power scaling of every other unit. They're just characters that just exist and they do their job. I'd rather take the anniversary events as an opportunity to get a character that you liked and you missed out on, but in terms of power, Zany and Kachona probably will be on the same level of strength, if not slightly above. And for people who care about account strength, those are probably going to be better characters to pull on anyways. I don't think that I'm going to pull on any anniversary unit just because I don't think I need them. I clear everything fine, and I don't have to spend money to do so. Not even flexing, I think this is just the norm for someone who's played for a year. Personally, I'm going to try to get Zany and Kachona, but if it doesn't work out, unlucky. I do have split opinions about Kuro's reputation and what this may mean for the future, us being given more pulls. I know, on one hand, this is a great thing, give me rewards. 57 is better than 37. I'm excluding the 10 standard ones because they don't matter that much. But I do worry that this is going to set a precedent where we're never going to be content with whatever comes out from now. We're always going to be asking for the next thing, or we're going to be expecting more than what we really should be expecting. Criticism about the anniversary is fair, and I agree. I was not super happy with the initial rewards. It was just like, alright, whatever. At least the game is good and I'm enjoying the game. I just ask that we try to be reasonable about why we were upset. It's better to have premium pulls than a standard selector, in my opinion, because standard units are pretty whatever, with the exception of Verena. And getting closer to a premium unit is always going to be better than getting closer to a standard unit. As we play the game, we're eventually going to get all of them. I have almost all of them as well. And a funny thing that happened when I saw the 37 pull announcement is that I thought we were going to immediately get some sort of compensation. I think that we were conditioned or taught that we will always get compensated for the things that Kuro makes a mistake on, and I can see us kind of taking advantage of that sort of pattern, that, oh, if we keep complaining, we're gonna get everything that we want. And I think that that's going to be an issue because we might always want Kuro to one-up their stuff, if that makes sense. I get this is an anniversary, which is gonna mean crazy rewards and free stuff, so this is kind of the exception to that rule. It's just something I ask us to be wary of, especially since I've been seeing people want a free Zany or Kachona, which, no, I don't think that's gonna happen, and I don't think that should happen. I like that we do have a relationship with the devs where they can listen, where we can expect compensation when Kuro messes up and we trust that the game is gonna be fine. It's just, when you ask for so much at once, I just worry. I don't want that relationship to be ruined or us to be seen as just like a very whiny player base, and then Kuro's gonna think, oh, these people don't know what they're talking about, they just want more, more, more. Again, this is the anniversary, so it's fair and it makes sense and I agree with it. It's just I don't want it to steep into something that gets worse and gets more normalized. I just ask that we try to be reasonable and more importantly realistic about what we should get for this anniversary, because if we just ask for the crazy new cool character every single time, it's the anniversary, so it's fair, I get it. It's just, if you have such unrealistic and crazy expectations for a company, you're going to get disappointed and you're going to riot. I'm not in any way defending Kuro. I don't care about that whatsoever. I have no reason to care about that. I just think that we are pretty okay with what we're getting. It's great that the developers care enough to listen to our feedback and ask for it and give us the best experience and deliver on what they say that they're gonna give us. I just want us to be wary about what exactly we are asking for. It's not greedy to ask for more pulls. I think if we got another 10 or 20, that would be really cool. But asking for a free Zany or Kachona, it just seems a little bit unreasonable to me. It's basically been a year now and the game doesn't suck. The game states good and I'm happy with the rewards. There's usually something to do and our time is usually valued. If I were to give extremes, I would say I'd rather have a game that has a lot to do and not enough pulls than to have a game where there's nothing to do but they give me a lot of pulls. Obviously, I don't think this really applies to Wuthering Waves, but even still, I'm happy with the game state and I don't think the game's a total mess. For me, the rewards are fine and there is still going to be a lot to do, which is why I'm happy about it. Again, I have no reason to blindly support or attack them or farm anything. I just thought this is an interesting subject to talk about, as well as just say that we should try to be reasonable about what we want. It's great that we're able to give feedback, and I do agree that we should voice our opinions about the anniversary, but maybe we don't throw a tantrum and 1-star review a bunch of innocent apps like previous times. I don't know, maybe that's a bad take now. With all of that out of the way, I am pretty excited for the patch. I'm excited to play the funny game, and I think that the anniversary rewards now are pretty okay, and I think that they're sufficient enough to reward players who've played for 1 year. If we get more rewards because of this, great, that's awesome. But if we don't, I'm still happy and I'm still excited for the game to get better. Maybe I'm totally delusional and I don't know what I'm talking about, or I have filthy casual standards, but I think that things are fine. And as of this moment, I'm okay with everything. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you for watching.